we're talking about, the youth and the younger ones and things like that, and to just tell how God protects us from ourselves, sometimes. And so sometimes we always need to be aware of the people that we're around and the friends that we are around. I when I was younger, I had this friend, and her name was Charlotte, and she was everything that I wasn't but wanted to be. She was all kinds of outgoing and, inhibited and all this stuff, but really she was one that would kind of lead me into unrighteousness. And we probably have all had those kinds of friends and things like that. And so she introduced me. She was always introducing me to people, but she introduced me, to this guy, and he liked me. He wanted me to come. They lived on the lake and stuff like that, and he wanted me to come to a party. And so I thought, I'm going, I'm going, and but was I going to tell anybody about it? No, I wasn't, because I had people that were protective over me, and sometimes I didn't want to be protected, and but so I said, tell them I'll come, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have a good time, and so the next morning, I didn't tell a soul, not a soul, but the next morning, my sister-in-law woke up, and she says, Lindee, she says, I had a dream about you. She said, I had a dream about you. She said, I saw you, by a lake. She said, it was a body of water, and she said you had your clothes on. She said, but you were dead. Well, Lord, I felt the fear of the Lord, and I thought, Lord God, I didn't tell anybody about it, but God knew, yes, He did, and I want to give the youth a word of warning. There might be a time when you think that, I think I want to do the unrighteous thing, and I'm not going to tell anybody. But if you're a child of God and you're a child of the King, God will tell somebody what you're doing. He will tell it, and He'll put the fear of God in you. He'll tell you what your future is if you head that way. But I just I'm thankful. That's one of the reasons why I'm here tonight, is because of God's salvation, in my life when I was young and throughout my life.